My name is Corporal Barron. Today, the purpose of my brief is to inform you on accountability and the leader. This brief is unclassified. The overall risk assessment is low. In case of a fire, there are two exits. You can exit to the right or you can exit to the left. Whichever one is closest to you to make sure that you're safe. A first aid kit is in the corner to the left. Is there if you need it for any minor cuts or bruises. Watch out for any cords. Make sure you don't trip or fall during this presentation. Okay. Accountability and the leader. First thing first, what is a leader? Okay. A leader is an influencer. They can influence a person or a group to help them meet their end goal. It's also a person that you can go to when you're feeling lost or vulnerable and you just need help. Being a leader is more than just about providing answers. A leader can be someone. Is a person that's supposed to be present whenever you need them. He's there. He or she is there to show sympathy and empathy. Leaders are expected to be held accountable for their actions and also the actions of others that falls upon them. That remind me of a time when I first made corporal. I was transferred to a new unit. I had no idea there was a such thing called corporal. It's like being a sergeant, but not getting paid to be one, basically. So when I was new to this unit, and we was headed to the range. Everyone was told to meet at Fort Benning, and our unit was always it was like an hour and a half away. So we had to drive to Fort Benning on our own and to go to the range. So once we got there, one of my soldiers in my squad was missing. They was late. We had no idea where they were. So my sergeant had called me and was like, where's such and such? And I was like, I don't know. He was like, well, I think you better call him or whatever. So I'm just calling, and he never answered. So once he finally arrived, we went to the range and everything. Once he arrived, I had to talk with him because the commander and stuff were looking at me crazy because that's the only person that was missing. And since he was in my squad, I was accountable. So once he got there, we had to talk, and he told me the reason why he was late, and it just hurt me. It hit me with a personal situation in my life. So when it was time for me to report back to the sergeant, I just took full responsibility. Soldiers in the military are expected to be accountable for everything they possess and all the actions made while enlisted. All of us is in the military. We know from day one we get a lot of uniforms, a lot of equipment. Even though they give us all these equipment, we know, like, at the end of the day, it's not 100% ours. It still belongs to the government. So we're supposed to keep up with each and every item that they give us. So this had me thinking about basic training. I was new in South Carolina, and we was coming back from the range on the little white bus that they used to transport us, and our squad leader, he failed to take accountability when we were getting off the bus. So all of us came back. They sent us back to our rooms, and we had to turn in our guns and to put them in lock them away to secure them. So once when we came back, they did a count of the guns. Come to find out, we was missing one. So they called all us downstairs. And they were saying that they was missing the gun. So the whole company got shut down until we found it. Come to find out, we had to count off. We had to pair by our battle buddy, and somebody was missing a battle buddy. So we had to find that person, and guess where they was? They were asleep in the back of the bus. So the commander was very upset with the platoon sergeant because he failed to take accountability. If he would have just he did a count off when we got off the bus, he would have noticed that he was missing a soldier. But since he failed to do so, we went through all that trouble trying to find a gun when we was missing a whole life. What is accountability? Accountability is basically just being responsible. And being responsible is just being dependable and fully committed to whatever task that you are assigned. Accountability, according to the U.S. DoD, accountability is the obligation imposed by law or lawful order or regulation to an officer or other people for keeping accurate record of property, documents, or funds. Accountability in the military is like a responsible person who knows their duties and perform to get it done. Accountability is not something that you should take lightly because, like I said previous, like we could have, like somebody was sleeping in the back of a bus with a gun, like that was the whole government property and somebody was lost. Like that's a serious situation. So I think accountability is very important. To be a good leader, you should have certain skills like communication skills and writing skills. Communication is key. Like, cause if I would have just like the Cole story, if I would have just went off on him for being late, I would have never knew what he was going through at home. So sometimes being a leader is not always about being a boss, or it's about being understanding and being there to listen to a soldier when they need you to. Leaders must know how to communicate and know what works best for each and every person. Because everybody has soldiers that you can tell them to do one thing. One soldier, you can tell them to do it once, they'll get it done, no question asked. Roger, Sergeant, I got it done. Some soldiers you might have to yell at, you might have to push a little harder, might be on they tail a little bit more than the other one, but that's why you're supposed to get to know each and every person that falls up on you. That's the key to being a leader as well. Leaders must be trustworthy, because say if one of my soldiers didn't trust me, they would have never came to me with their problems. I would have never knew. And like you can really save somebody's life from suicide like that. If they trust you to talk to you, you can help them, talk them out of there. But if they don't, they can do anything, and it can end a life. Basically, it can get that serious to end a life. In conclusion, to be an effective leader, one must hold themselves accountable and others accountable. If you expect something from one of your people and they don't deliver it on time, it could be a problem. It really could, because it's all about respect as well. Being a leader, you should have respect from your peers, because if there's no respect, there's no understanding, there's no organization or anything. Basically, accountability as a leader, that's the most important thing in my eyes, because it goes as far as being accountable of your uniform, looking the part, being accountable of your soldiers to know when and where they are at every second of the moment that they're up under you. That's just accountability in a leader. With that being said, are there any questions? Can I have any improvements? Any sustains? Thank you. So there was no more hazards that was knowledge, so the overall risk assessment is low, and that's in my brief. Thank you.